We leave right after the call though. Headed home
Oh,
on our 8-hour trip home.
how long is it to get there?
It's about 7.5, 8 hours, but with all the like 12 million P stops, probably 10.
I was asking Terry last night if you guys, like, how close it was to you guys.
Yeah, it's not too far. We usually do drive. Except for the cruise, we had so much stuff we had to fly.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I am recording. I know that people usually pop on and leave, but let's get started. I don't want to keep anyone too long today. Okay, so obviously today Amy is speaking, and I think that as my team has started to grow, things kind of get lost. And I think we forget who sort of the great grandma. I mean, I always call myself the grandma to a lot of people. So Amy's actually your great grandma to a lot of you guys. So she is my coach. Almost to the day, 5 years ago, I saw an ad, like a sponsored post by Amy on Facebook. I just randomly, I can still remember sitting at the stoplight in London, scrolling Facebook, which you shouldn't be doing in Canada, scrolling Facebook and seeing this post. And it was just her face. And it said that she was looking for people that wanted to, earn income while sharing their health and fitness journey. I had used Beachbody products. I don't know why, but I figured it was Beachbody. So I obviously knew there was coaching, but I can't even really remember. And this is so out of character for me. I would never, like, my normal personality would never comment on something like that, ever. Like, I still actually can't believe I did it. Like, drop an emoji or whatever her question was, like, post below interested, but I did. And she messaged me, she put me in a sneak peek. And if you guys know me, my attention span is very small. I didn't even look at the sneak peek stuff. I don't even think I looked at a video. And she messaged me. She wanted to FaceTime. And I was so shy, you guys. Like, this is how far I've come in 5 years. I told her we didn't have FaceTime in Canada because I did not want to talk to her in person. Like, I did not want to do any phone call. I did not want to, like, video. I was like, absolutely not. Can't we just do this through Messenger? Like, I wanted nothing to do with her, basically. So we signed up, like, through Messenger. I signed up. I bought the 21-day fix package. You guys, I'd never, ever used Shakeology religiously. I tried it once. I had bought a bag like years before. I thought it was disgusting. I threw the bag out. So, like, I was not like the perfect coach. I'm sure she wasn't thinking, oh, here's my next rock star. Like, I remember thinking, oh, this 21-day fix is so stupid. I don't want to do the nutrition. Like, I was really not a great candidate. But what I did really want, I wanted to earn income. Like, I thought it was really cool that you could earn income by sharing these workouts, because that's what I really had been doing for a long time. I'd been doing Beachbody workouts on my own at home forever, and I had already lost weight on my own. Then once she put me in her challenge group, I started actually taking the container seriously. I realized, like, the community and these programs, like, if you were actually using them, she helped me like Shakeology. She helped me learn how to mix it. But what I guess I want you guys to know is we all start at nothing. Like, we all start at zero, and we all have someone that's helping us. And that was Amy for me. Like, I didn't know what Success Club was. I didn't know what points meant. I didn't know what Emerald was or Diamond. Like, she helped me every single step of the way. So I want you guys to know her story, because she has a really awesome story. She clearly has done all the things in this business. She's $1 million earner, and she's 7-star, all the stuff, 6-time elite. But I think it's really important you know where she started, because you need to know that it's possible for everybody, like every single person. I've watched her grow in 5 years, like her confidence is like totally, she was kind of like me in the beginning. Neither of us really wanted to talk to each other. Yeah. And now we've both grown so much. So I really wanted to invite her on to share her story. So I will stop talking and you can take over, Amy.
Oh, thank you. It's so true. We attract our tribe, right? Like I was the same way Michelle was, super, super shy. No clue where to even start with this business. And when you hear my story, you'll realize that we all start at zero. Like I literally had nothing. So I really just want to thank you guys because it's Easter weekend. I know it's a holiday weekend. So I want to first thank you guys for spending time on the call. And I know Michelle already mentioned this, but back 8 years ago, I founded our amazing team, which you guys have Team Fitnique, and we are Team Rise Up. And yes, like Michelle said, I'm a 6-time elite, Million Club member. I'm going to be reading from my notes, you guys, because I've been on vacation for a week and I did take notes, but I will be, you'll see my eyes going to the right a lot. But this was never about, even though we mentioned Million Club member, like this was never about finances for me. It was never about money. This was always about freedom. It was always about having freedom. I wanted desperately to be home with my kids. Like that's the reason that I started nannying to begin with, was to be with my kids, to be able to bring my kids with me to my nanny job, which I was able to do. But just kind of quickly about me, and then I'll share some tips about, looking back, what were the keys to my success. So I started coaching back, like Michelle said, like 2011, which was 8 years ago. So yes, I'm a great grandma. It's crazy to think of that, but I was working full-time as a nanny. At the time, my kids were 4 years old and 1 year old. So I was busy. I did not start doing, a lot of people look at me and think I started this and I was always a full-time coach, but I absolutely wasn't. I worked a full-time job. I did this business in pockets of time. Like a lot of you do. I found the time and I made it happen. So we were working nonstop and literally getting nowhere. Brian was working 2 jobs, 2 corporate jobs, barely ever able to see the kids. And we were stressed. We were stressed financially. We were fighting all the time about finances because we would literally look over at our countertop and the bills were piling up and we couldn't afford to pay them. We'd have the bill collectors call us. We were literally sitting down on the couch talking about filing for bankruptcy. And it was so incredibly stressful. Like there were times where I was like, oh my God, I don't even know if we can make it as a couple because we're fighting nonstop about finances. Like it was crazy. So that being said, I had been introduced to Team Beachbody I actually was handed P90X by a family member. So I had no clue the coaching community that existed. I had no clue about challenge groups. I had no clue about the Team Beachbody community. I just dove in and I did P90X, got great results. I didn't have a challenge group of support. I didn't have any of that. I found back in Facebook days, I didn't even have an Instagram, you guys. Facebook was like message boards. We had message boards. I went to the P90X women's message board and I just connected with people there. And that was the support that got me through P90X. So one day out of the blue, I just connected. I saw a picture of my coach with Tony Horton. And I was like, Tony Horton, I loved him, obsessed with him. And I just reached out to her. I asked her how she got to be in a picture, how she got to meet Tony Horton. And she told me she was a coach. Honestly, she didn't tell me much about coaching. I literally was just like, this looks really fun. And it looks like this community that I need in my life because I was literally had kids dragging off me all day, every day. I didn't even interact with adults. So I wanted a sense of purpose. You guys, maybe you can feel the same way, but I felt like I was dragged down. Like I was a mom and a nanny. So that was my existence. I felt like that there was something more for me than just being a mom and a nanny. And I wanted that sense of fulfillment and that sense of purpose in my life. So at the time, you guys, I had no business training, never. I had been a childcare director. I had been a pre-K teacher, never any business background at all. I barely knew anything about social media. Like I said, I didn't have Instagram. I started with a BlackBerry and a digital camera, you guys. That's crazy. I didn't even have a laptop, didn't even have a computer. So it goes to show you can literally start from anywhere. Honestly, you guys, I had no idea how to make money. No clue. Like Michelle said, we just learned as we went. I didn't know all the ins and outs of it. All the training that you guys have now, I had none of that. I just flew and I just wanted to do this. I knew that my coach made a great living at this, and I just had the belief that I could do it too. I just wanted to help people the same way that P90X helped me. Like, that's all I wanted to do is pay it forward. Literally, when I started this, you guys, I was like, I just want to help one person, and then I will be satisfied. Like, that will make me fulfilled. So that's the way it started for me. I'm going to be scrolling down my notes here. So you guys, I literally made $300 as a nanny a week. That's it. So as you can tell, like, it could barely pay for our groceries each week. Like, we were stressed. I had no idea how to do this. I just knew that it was possible. I knew that it was possible. I knew that I could do it, and that other women were doing it too. So fast forward to today, right? We no longer have that financial stress. We have the time freedom that we had always wanted. I found a sense of purpose outside of being a mom and nanny. And now, not only am I home with the kids, but Brian was able to quit his 2 corporate jobs. He's able to be around the kids more when he was never able to be before. He's actually able to, like, coach their games and coach their teams. And we run this business together now. So it's crazy to even talk about it right now on this call. It's crazy. So this leads me to my first tip. And these, you guys, just looking back on my 8 years, these were the top 5 things that I feel has helped me to succeed over the years. And the first tip is belief. You guys have got to believe. Outside of all of the numbers, the success, the rank advancements, all of that, you've just got to believe. I hustled, you guys, right from the start. I didn't know what I was doing. I just dove into it, right? I showed up on every team call, every national call. If I was making lunch for the kids at my nanny job, I'd have it on speakerphone. I'd be listening to it as I was making whatever, mac and cheese or whatever I was making the kids. I was constantly bugging my coach, right? Don't feel like you guys are bugging your coach. If you have a question, reach out. I see that as, oh my gosh, my coach is, like, really ready to do this. Okay. Don't ever, like, Brian and I get so many messages every day, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to bug you. You guys, I bugged my coach night and day, like, all the time. And she was always so thankful. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm glad you're reaching out, because that shows me that you want this. So don't ever be apologetic about that. I convinced my husband that this could be something that was worth the effort. And we both dove into the trainings, right? We both dove into YouTube. We both dove into the team calls, and any piece of information that we could get, we took it. We absolutely 100% took it. We listened to the team calls in the car as we were driving. If we had a trip we would take, we'd listen to a national call or a team call. We talked to other coaches. Like, we never once thought, oh, that's just her. I couldn't possibly do that myself. Nope, didn't happen. We believed 100%, and we still do every single day. So tip number 2, you have to show up. You just have to show up. Not just sometimes, right? Not just when you feel like it, not just when the time is right or when you have the motivation. You have to show up. Team calls, Super Saturday, right? Team page, be active on your team page. Summit, get to Summit. It is a game changer, you guys. It has changed the game for me and Brian and so many others on our team. You've got to get to Summit and just be present. Take it all in. You may not know 100% about the business right now, but just be there. Show up to it every day, right? Making $1 million, you guys, elite, 5-star, it's going to be freaking hard. It's going to be hard, okay? You can't do this half-assed though, okay? If you guys are here and you're on this call and you want this to be a business, you have to show up to it. Part-time coaches get paid part-time income, right? This is a business. It's not a 9-to-5. If you want to grow it like a business, you have to show up to it like it is a business. Yes, I agree. There are hobby coaches, but if you're on this call and you want to grow this business, you have to be there and grow it like a business. All right. So, and you guys, 8 years later, I still hustle. I still have late nights. I still work a little bit on vacation, right? We're here in Orlando right now. I'm working. I've worked a little bit every day since I've been here. Elite coaches give elite effort. Absolutely. Okay. Tip number 3, set small attainable goals, but keep moving the goalpost. Okay. Don't just stop when you hit that goal. keep going. I find to me that I need to always have a goal. Because if I don't have a goal, I'm aiming at like absolutely nothing. And I'm just like wavering in the wind. I have no clue where I'm going. I have to have a goal. I have to be working from a list. I have to see that goal on my goal board every single day. It pushes me. And here's a story. My coach was a founding coach, like very up at the top of our team, like way above us. Like we don't really have an upline working the business, but my founder, okay, the founder of our team, he literally would tell Brian and I stories about how he was making $300K a year. And it drove Brian and I, we looked at that and we heard him talking. We're like, really? Like you can make $300K a year at this business? Like that's insane, doing something that I love, right? And he would tell me how this impacted his family's life. It wasn't the money to me, but it was the stories he would tell us of what he was able to do with his family. That was like, gave us Brian and I, like it gave us this fire. It gave us this motivation to make this business happen. So I didn't question it, right? I didn't know what I was doing. Brian and I believed that we could do it. We just believed that we could do it. So I didn't question it. I knew that it was going to happen because I knew that we'd do whatever it took to get there. So first it was Emerald, right? First I had to hit that first goal of Emerald. And then it was 300 per week. I made my nanny income. I like literally celebrated the heck out of that, right? Celebrate every little goal along the way, right? So we were making 300 a week consistently. Then I hit Diamond, right? And then 2-star, and then the leadership conference, right? Then Elite. There's always a goal that I'm reaching for. And then it was to retire Brian to be a full-time family. Always had to have something that I was aiming for, because if I didn't have a why. And if you don't have a why in this business that is pushing you through the tough, through the hard, through the no's, you're not going to have any motivation to do this. So don't be, it feels amazing, right? When you hit a goal, I'm sure you all can agree when you hit a goal, it feels so incredible. But you can't just stay there, right? It puts wins back into your sales to reach a goal. And then you set those goals to stretch you, but you track it and you make it an attainable goal, right? Don't just set a goal, right, to hit Elite and you're an Emerald coach, right? Set the next goal right above that. So don't be the Emerald coach telling your upline that you want to be Elite in the next 3 months, okay? Walk, run, sprint, get to Diamond first, right? Get to Diamond first, and then hold that Diamond, right? Set your foundation and then build the house, okay? That's what you have to do. So tip number 4, never ever, under any circumstance, get out of phase 1, okay? Phase 1, it's your building mode, okay? That's your building mode. I never, ever stopped building. I never stopped earning Success Club. I literally saw Success Club as just a marker in my business. Just helping 3 people. I was like, okay, all I have to do is help 3 people to reach my attainable goal every month. Right? Some of us make that sound really hard. Like, oh my gosh, I have to help 3 people with a challenge pack or Shakeology. It's not that hard. Just think about it as people, not about the points. I'm going to help 3 people this month. Start at the beginning of the month, hit it by the middle of the month, and then you know what? You could reach Success Club 10. That's when I started upping my goal. Was when I was hitting Success Club 5 every single month. I then made it Success Club 10 and then 20. Just kept setting those goals. I never stopped doing new programs. I never stopped doing new programs. Whether or not I felt like maybe it wasn't my program, I tried it, right? If you get out of doing these programs, you guys, you're not running your business the right way. You have to be showing up to the programs. You have to be following the meal plan. You have to be getting results. It's pretty amazing that we get to work on ourselves for our business. It's like incredible. So I never stopped doing the new programs. I always had a new transformation, right? Yes, I'd fall back, but I'd always get back on track, right? We're all real. It's about balance, right? In the lifestyle. More credibility, you guys. You have to be a challenger for life. You have to be in your challenge groups and never stop being a challenger. Okay, I know it can get easy, but I've found in this business, when I get off track on my fitness and my nutrition, and I slack on my challenge groups, my whole business goes downhill. So you have to be doing those things. I never stopped talking to new people every single day. For 8 years, you guys, I'm always talking to new people. It's got to be one of your goals. And then I never stopped inviting. I'm always inviting people, whether it's to the coach opportunity or to a challenge group or a free group, I never stopped inviting. And I've seen this time and time again when coaches fall, they fall off, whether it's they hit emerald or they hit diamond or they hit star diamond and they fall off. It's because they stopped. They stopped doing the vitals. They stopped doing the things. They stopped what got them there. They stopped working out. They stopped talking to new people. They stopped running challenge groups. They stopped inviting. They just stopped showing up. I've seen it. Okay. So don't be that girl. Don't be that girl. I've seen coaches absolutely kill it and they're on their way to 6 figures and then they just stop, right? They threw it all away. Don't be that girl. So I just want to share with you guys, some of you know this, I know some of you are on my team and you know this, but I have rebuilt Team Rise Up multiple times. My first 5 diamond coaches are no longer in the business. I'm 7-star diamond right now, but those first 5 stars, those first diamonds are no longer running the business. I didn't let that, I could have said, oh my God, I just lost my first 5 diamond coaches. Screw it. This business isn't for me. I never, ever once did I think that. I was like, you know what? They weren't it. They weren't in it to win it. They weren't here. They weren't meant to stay. I'm going to keep building. I'm going to find those people that are meant to stay and want this as badly as I do. So I used it. I used it as fuel to light my fire and I kept moving forward. So I always put my head down, right? If your first diamond falls off, like, don't let that discourage you. Spend a day, like, yes, it can get really hard when it's personal and it's a friend of yours. And believe me, I've been there. I've felt the hurt. I've had close friends just completely fall off or go to other businesses. It sucks. It sucks the wind out of your sails for a little bit. But I take a day or maybe half a day and I wallow in that. And then I put my head back down and I put my blinders on. Head down always, always be in team building mode. And last, you guys, this is, did I do number 4? Yeah, that was number 5. Oh no, sorry. Number 5, your 5th tip is to guide, support, and love on your team. Okay. Know that their actions are what dictates their success. I totally skipped around in my notes, you guys. The whole, my TRU, rebuilding TRU was meant to be under number 5. Guide, support, love your team, but know that their actions are what dictates their success, not yours. Okay. Don't blame yourself if they fall off. It's in their hands. We can guide and support them in the beginning, and then we have to really let them build their wings and fly. Okay. And then last, you guys, enjoy the ride. Enjoy emerald, enjoy diamond, enjoy your first $100 a week. Enjoy your first $500 a week. Enjoy that first message you get that says, Amy, thank you so much for changing my life. I was able to finally fit back into these pants, or I was able to finally complete that program because you reached out to me and you were there supporting me. Enjoy those moments, right? Enjoy that Success Club trip that you earned. Enjoy Summit. Go to Summit, soak up every single moment. This business has brought me some of the some of the greatest days and nights of my life. Vacations with best friends, experiences for our kids, crazy jaw-dropping pay weeks that literally, you guys, the first time I ever earned $1,000 a week, I fell off my couch, literally. And I don't do this. I never started this for the finances. I never started this for the money because I didn't really understand the whole circle of it all. And when I realized what we could do with this and that we could help our family in so many ways, it just drove me even more. So I remember those days. Vacations with your best friends, right? If you earn Success Club, you guys can earn these free trips and you get to be with your best friends in this business that you might not have never met, but have changed your world. When you meet them for the first time, it's like you've known them forever and you just have so much fun. It's just literally so much fun. Enjoy it. Be proud of every achievement. The littlest things, you guys, it's just a little step on your journey and you have to celebrate those things before you get to those bigger goals. So just to finish this up, you guys, this business continues to be the experience of a lifetime. It was so hard at times. There were times when I wanted to throw in the towel. There were times when I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But then I remembered my kids' faces and I was like, I've got to keep pushing for them. If you don't have a why, you guys have to really sit down for hours, for a day if you need to, and think about what your why is. I wanted to be with my kids at home worse than I ever have, right? And now I see it happening on our team and it's trickling down. And that brings me so much joy to see, I'll just call Heather, who was able to take her kids on her first family vacation. To see her enjoying her family on their first trip. Sorry, you guys, I'm very emotional today. It was just amazing to me. And to see Michelle able to be home with Delaney, because she was able to leave her full-time job and to do something that fills her with joy and that helped her to get through some grief in her own life. That is what I still push for every single day. I want to see more of the success stories on our team. I want to see more of those things happening. So, and seeing you guys walk across the stage, oh my gosh, we just had Crystal, I don't know if she's on the call, but she just hit 2 stars. She's going to be crossing that stage. I live for those moments to see you guys shine, to reach your goals and cross that stage. It's just the best feeling. So yes, there'll be tough days, you guys. You will hear no, it'll happen, but it's so incredibly worth it. The late nights, I still have them. They're incredibly worth it. The sacrificing, the TV shows. I don't watch TV anymore, you guys, and it has been a game changer for me. I used to sit there and spend so much time vegging out on the couch watching reality TV. What for? Did it add value to my life? Absolutely not. It just wasted like hours of my days. Now I sit there instead and I connect with people, or I help my team, or I read personal development, which has helped me to grow, you guys. I still get nervous on team calls. Still do. But my confidence has grown so much more than when I started because of personal development. So find a book that speaks to you. Don't just find a book that your coach says, read this book, right? It might not speak to you. Find what you need help with and find that book and read it. Or audiobooks or podcasts, right? So I'm here today to tell you guys that it's worth it. All the struggles, all the tough days, it's worth it. It's a business. It is a beautiful business that can bring so much joy into your life. But any business has tough days, okay? But you have to find your why, find your reason, okay? It's worth it because my kids have grown up seeing mom and dad live this like unusual life, right? Their whole life, all they've known is Beachbody. It's so weird to them to like see parents that like drop their kids off at school and go off to work. But that's what we've worked so hard for, right? They have grown up seeing us both at home, able to do things at the drop of a hat, right? Coach their sports teams, take in all their cheer practices. Like I love, and I would never be able to do this before. I go to her cheer practice every day. It's like the highlight of my day, of my week. Seeing them do what they love. If we were not working hard, you guys Brian and I, still building this team, still hustling, Julia wouldn't be able to do cheerleading because it's freaking expensive. Jack wouldn't be able to do travel soccer and all the stuff that he does. Absolutely not. But I could never look in my kids' faces and say, you know what, Julia, I'm sorry. We can't afford cheer this year because mommy and daddy slacked off. We didn't work hard enough. Because if I'm sitting here doing what I love, my kids are freaking going to be able to do what they love. No way am I not going to hustle. I'm going to hustle for them. So find your why. We take them on these amazing trips. We get to take them on these trips of a lifetime. I hit Successco in the beginning of this journey every single month except for the first 2 months in my coaching journey. And I've hit it every month because of them, because I wanted to take them on a trip. We struggled financially in the beginning. We couldn't afford to take them anywhere. Now they're so lucky. They get to go on like a few trips every year. Some earn through Beachbody. And now they get to hang out with the TRU and Fit Neat crew and Swoobs Nation crew and all of your team's kids because you see our kids on the trips, you bring yours. And it's just so incredibly worth it. And just to be present with them every day, just to be there for them, to be that person when they get off the bus that they can run to and tell about their day and not tell the nanny or the babysitter or the after school care person. It's worth it because I can say yes. Soccer camp? Hell yes. Cheer camp? Yes, do it. Want me to be your chaperone on the field trip? Yes. Heather was just able to chaperone her first field trip with her daughter. And I remembered that feeling of that first field trip with my kid. Never would have happened had I not pushed in this business. And I know the same thing for Heather and the same for many of you. Want me to be your chaperone? Yes. Want to go to Dave & Buster's on a Friday night? Sure. Right? Need help with your homework? Yes. Right? The answer is yes. The answer is yes, because I pushed in this business and I never gave up. So I want to end with this. What would you do to say yes a little more to your kids or to whoever is important in your life? Your husband. What would you do to say yes to yourself a little more? Would you show up a little more? Would you figure your crap out? Would you just freaking believe a little more? Do it. You guys do it. I promise that it'll be 100% worth it. That's all I have. I know that was really short, but you guys can totally ask questions if you want, but
that was awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, gosh, hearing someone else's story always makes me even think about why I do this and why I push so hard. So just some of my takeaways. I always like to end calls with takeaways because I think you can kind of get lost in all the information, but I think it's really important to think about some of the really important key things that Amy said. So first, I want you guys to realize she and I, no training. Like you had a coach that gave you information and you just went with it. I think people get so caught up in learning more. This is like simple. All you need to do is talk to people. Like, it's so easy. And if you are sitting around collecting information, you're probably never, ever going to go anywhere. You just have to go for it. And one question I would love for you to kind of answer, Amy, is how did you find the courage just to go for it? Like, what was it? I think I know the answer. You've kind of answered it here, but can you just share with us, like, what was it that just made you dig in and dive in?
Just honestly, fear was something I felt every day. Like, I was literally scared. Like, I'm sitting here sweating right now, you guys. It makes me nervous to be on any call, right? But if you don't get out of your comfort zone, how will you ever see success? How will you ever grow? It was my kids' faces every single day that I would think of if I was like, and I always think about this, you guys, I have so many self-limiting beliefs. I still do. I still have to dive into confidence for my personal development because I still struggle every day with those self-limiting beliefs, that mean girl, right? That has that voice in your head. If you've read that girl or what, Mastering Your Mean Girl, if you've read that book, it was a game changer for me. I never let those self-limiting beliefs defeat me or control me. I will tell you guys, any self-limiting belief that you have in your head right now, I had, okay? Too shy for this business, I had it. No training, I had it. No background in business, I had it. No social media experience, no iPhone, no Instagram, you guys, I had it. You guys have so much more than what I started with, but you can't let the fear hold you back. I said to myself, if I can make this post on social media, yes, my first before and after picture, like, I was scared crapless, like a lot of you, right? I just shut my computer. I ran from my computer and I said, you know what? If I can just impact one person's life with that post, then it's worth it. And who cares? Who cares if someone says something negative? My mission and my goal in this business is worth more than anything negative that anyone can say to me. And that's what you have to find. You have to find your deep rooted why and reason that's going to push you through that fear. Because I will honestly think of my kids' faces before I do anything that scares me. Before I got on a team call with Shaun T, I drank 2 cups of Energize and I was so scared. But I looked at a picture of my kids, which I have next to my desk. And I was like, I can do this. And I always think about, what would I tell my kids, right? If my kids were to come to me with a self-limiting belief. If Jack were to come to me today and say, Mommy, I don't think I can try out for the basketball team because I don't think I'm good enough. What would I tell him? Would I tell him, you know what, you're really not good enough. You can't do this. I totally understand. Or would I tell him, oh my gosh, like you have to do this. Like you have everything that it takes inside you to do this. You are amazing. You can do anything you set your mind to. That's what I tell my kids. So every time I have a self-limiting belief, I think, what would I tell my kids? And if you don't have kids, you guys, what would you tell your significant other if they were questioning anything in their life? If they had a self-limiting belief, what would you tell them? Tell yourself that you have to conquer that mean girl in your head like you would help your kids through it, or like you would help your best friend through it, right? That's what you have to do. So every time you have a fear, every time you have a self-limiting belief, what would I tell the person I love most, right? So I don't know if that answers your question. It's just, you have to find that motivation that's pushing you outside and that is greater than any fear or self-limiting belief that you have.
Totally. I mean, we talk about this why, and I remember rolling my eyes at Amy when she's like, what's your why? Like, what the hell are you talking about? And I can remember when she said, read personal development. I was like, this woman clearly doesn't know how busy I am. Like, I was totally against everything. But little by little, I started doing all that stuff, and it's what makes the difference. You know what? The stuff you don't want to do is the stuff that's going to make the difference. You don't want to read the book because it's hard to tell yourself, oh, I have that limiting belief. Like, it sucks to have to admit to yourself, oh, I'm really, one of my biggest weaknesses is comparison. And I just shout it out to you guys because I might as well tell the truth, but that's what I work on every single day. Amy's is confidence, like whatever it is, I want to get better. So I work on it every day, but you have to have this why, and your why is going to change. To be honest, my why wasn't my kid at first. My why was like when I was cutting the hair, wanting to stab the clients, I could not wait to tell them. Like, I dreamt about telling them that I was closing my salon. I dreamt about it. Like, honestly, as they were chirping in my ear about their new haircut, I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait when I get to cut your hair and tell you it's going to be the last time I cut your hair. Like, that was my why every single day. So you can bet that as soon as I was done that blow dry, I went back to my phone in my back room instead of chatting with my coworkers and gossiping and reading Facebook, and I messaged people and I invited them. Do Amy and I like inviting? No, we don't. Like, no one on the planet likes inviting. Like, it's the thing you like to do the least. Do it first. Do it first, because that's like the only thing that's going to move your business forward.
Oh my God. If I didn't do it first, I would never get it done. Never.
Like, I've actually even started doing it first thing in the morning because it's the thing I hate. I hate it. It's not my favorite thing. So I do that first instead of doing all the fluffy stuff first. So find what works for you. But I think some takeaways are: stop watching all the videos. Stop trying to be trained more. There's nothing more to this than like talking to people and helping people. Stay in phase 1. God, I have seen so many people just get out of phase 1 and then the business just trickles away. Remember why you started. You wanted to be a coach. You wanted to help people. You wanted to make some new friends. Like, always do that. Always. The other stuff you'll have to do as well. As your team grows, that's going to get added onto your plate, but not for a long time. Like, in fact, most days of mine are still just being a coach to people that want to be healthier. That's what my day is. It's not creating PDFs for my coaches because, again, this is simple. They don't need a PDF. They just need you to tell them to go message people. Like, it's so simple. If you keep this simple, you're going to see success. There was no time for PDFs when I was working, right? When I was working full time and doing this, all I had time for was talking to people.
It can get so easy to get comfy, right, in your comfort zone when you have a team and you're just helping to train your team, but then you forget to invite to your team more, right? You can get comfy in that spot, or you have a challenge group that's thriving and you get comfy in that challenge group and you just continue with that and you forget to start a new challenge group. You have to have fresh stuff starting because you can't just build a business that's going to be sustainable on one set of coaches. Like I said, my first 5 diamonds, they're not here anymore. So you have to keep building and finding those new people.
It's so true. And that was kind of my last takeaway is There are seasons for everyone, and coaching might be a season for one of your, like I myself have 3 or 4 diamonds that aren't diamonds anymore too. So like it just happens, and it's easy to get really emotional about it and blame yourself and say, oh, that I didn't train them right, I didn't support them right. But at the end of the day, this is our own stuff. You cannot get so emotionally attached. Become friends, become a community, but it's not your fault. It's not your fault if the coach you signs up doesn't make an Emerald coach. It's not your fault if she never messages you back. It's just not. Just take your emotion out of it, because all sorts of things are going to happen as you move ahead in this business, and you can't let it turn you back. You just can't. I mean, Amy is, in fact, I know this for sure. Like my first Success Club trip I went on, I don't think any of the same people are there. Just the 2 of us are.
I look back at pictures of our first summit, like my first summit 8 years ago, and just Crystal Morrison and Doug are the only ones there from our team. So, and yeah, Success Club trips, different people come, like, but that's going to happen. There are definitely seasons in this business, ebbs and flows. Then we just have to get used to that.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much. Does anybody have like questions for Amy? No, I mean, I think you explained everything so well. So I don't think.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Yes, thank you so much. It was really awesome even for me to rehear your story, and thank you for sharing with us. I know you hate doing calls, but you do an amazing job.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. I don't hate it. I just, still makes me nervous, but push out of your comfort zone, you guys. It's the only thing that's going to help you to grow yourself and your business. So reach outside that comfort zone. And have an amazing holiday, you guys.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Happy holiday. See you.
Bye, guys.